Dan Boyce at 44 early. If I may, this may take a few more minutes than 5. Is that?
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
You're not going to swear, right?
I'll try.
If you swear, I got to
Try
stop
not
you. Okay, please do. Go ahead.
This is being recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With everything that's gone on, things are really, really pushed like right to the edge of the cliff. Being recorded right there. Mayor Ellis, I think it's time for you to do your job. You need to come back to council. You need to cooperate with council. Council needs to cooperate with the mayor. Okay? All of you are human beings. All of you, if you get hit in the nose, you're going to bleed. Nobody's better than the other. Okay? Enough really is enough. Things I've heard tonight are kind of upsetting and appalling. Mayor, I'm asking you, pull up your big boy pants, get in here and fight like you say you want to fight. Do your job. You were hired to do a job, do it. Just as council, you were elected to do a job, do your job. All of you. I'm not taking sides one way or the other, but it is. There's a guy on South Main Street, Case Buds, begging for somebody to come into his place to eat. Begging. He had one customer today. One. But if you look at the mayor's post, he will sowing you up and down, all up and down, and how great the Greek guy is going to be, and how great the, what is it called, Daniel?
Farmer and the chickpea.
Farmer and the chickpea. Why no mention of Case Buds? Why no mention of Sullivan's? Why no mention of Rocco's? There's other places too. These people, I mean, I'm anticipating the Greek restaurant. I want to go try the farmer and the chickpea. I'm waiting for the Greek restaurant first, but you want business to come in, not leave. You don't want people to look across the river and say, I ain't going over there. And it's happening. It's happening a lot. I've come up here. I've told you. I'm glad to hear that you have a supermarket coming in. Okay?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. I told you there was a developer from Easton, a big developer. One of his associates contacted the chain. The chain went through. They looked at Facebook and everything. They saw all the crap going on. They said they're not interested in coming to Phillipsburg. Okay? It's all preventable. It all should have been prevented. I've got up in front of council how many times and said, you guys, really, I'm new to this rodeo, but this council seems to work better than any I've heard of in years. So now, mend whatever needs to be mended. And that goes for the mayor as well. It's a two-way street. I understand he doesn't talk to you guys. Well, stop acting like a little girl. Okay?
Try and just keep it.
No, I'm saying that in general. That goes for you too. If you're not talking to
He
him,
means the phrase.
I just meant the phrase.
Okay.
That's all.
Majority.
the developer, I told you, tried to bring the grocery store in there. He owns property in town here. He's having a problem with an inspector who, he just bought the property not long ago. The inspector, town inspector, overlooks some certain things. A few months later, he comes in to inspect him. He's telling him all these things he overlooked when he bought the home have to be repaired. Nothing was changed. Is the inspector incompetent? He's not giving them a certificate of occupancy. He's telling them one wall has to be painted the same color as the other three. That has to be done for you to have a certificate of occupancy. That's a design. That's a very, you go into New York and pay a lot of money for that.
It's an actual wall.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
I hear tonight, and this is very disturbing. The mayor is here to represent the town, to govern this town. The mayor's putting every resident in this town in danger by not cooperating with the emergency squad, by not talking to them. That's absurd. That's like, you know, when I come from Easton over here, every time I go across the bridge, I look for Rod Sterling. All the time. I think I'm entering the twilight zone. Some things just,
I get it now. Took a while, but thanks.
You got inspectors. These people make reports of going in and bed bugs and maggots and fleas and this and that and everything else. You got inspectors. Why aren't they doing their jobs? Why aren't they doing their jobs?
You have to call the mayor's office for inspections.
I called my left messages. I'm not getting returned.
I'm not being facetious.
No, I understand. I'm begging all of you. I didn't come in this town to buy a home and invest in this town because I want to throw money in the garbage. I can do that in any town. Really. I'm trying. And there's certain people that don't help matters either. The little games, the little nonchalant comments and everything. Grow up, people. You're right about South Main Street. I mean, there's different cliques that seem to want to run around and post the blame on this and post the blame on that. Take blame for your own self. Okay? This town banned Joe Clark from coming in here. Joe Clark is a slumlord. He's this and he's that. I can say a lot of things about a lot of people too. It doesn't necessarily make it true. You know Joe Clark owns the Alpha building in Easton?
No.
Okay. Joe Clark also owned the building right next to 3rd Street Seafood, whatever, the Mexican restaurant. That's another Joe Clark building. He owned a building in Allentown, the house, the Allentown Business School. Okay? A lot of reputable buildings. He may have buildings where people aren't so copacetic, whatever. He chased them away. You know he's building a hotel in another.
I chased him away?
No, you meaning the town. He wanted to build a hotel here. He's a very successful businessman. He's owned restaurants, he's owned nightclubs. And after somebody brought that up, yeah, somebody was shot outside his nightclub. That's his fault. If we walk out here tonight and somebody shoots me, is that Low Packhonk's fault? He's opening, he took his business elsewhere. I believe Low Packhonk's getting I'll tell you in a second.
Council President,
Yes, sir. It's time to wrap up.
it's much over. Sorry, Mr. Boyce.
Okay, I'm worried.
It's more than 5.
Okay, is there anyone else? Ms. Pierce, I was supposed to bring something up for you this evening,
Yes, you were.
and I just remembered that halfway through Mr. Boyce's speech, so
Go ahead, you're on.
I forget. But I knew I was supposed to bring something up.
Over the parking, we're paying to park in the parking lots, and people are parking there that don't have to park.
So
I gotta
before you
pay-
continue, just so everyone understands, Joan unfortunately cannot get up from her seat, but Joan, your name is Joan Pierce, your address,
So, Rich,
Sitgrave Street. Do you have a number for Sitgrave Street?
no, we don't.
I have to give it.
111.
111. So you are correct. Mrs. Pierce pays for a parking spot annually through our permit process for Sitgrave Street. And during the parade and the train, people have been taking these spots and they have not been ticketed. I did state that I would bring that up here this evening. I do believe we need to revisit the parking ordinance and sit down with the chief and discuss enforcement.
And on Sundays, they park there also.
Correct, for church as well.
Mhm.
So is that okay with you if we do that?
Yeah.
And I will keep you apprised?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I pay a lot of money
I
to park
apologize
there.
for forgetting. I
It's
truly,
okay.
I remembered halfway through, so I won't happen again. Okay. Is there anyone else? Okay, there being none, we can close the public petitions portion. The habitability hearing has been postponed. We will now move forward with council open time, and I will start with Councilman Litz.
Does anybody know what's going on with the sinkhole on Stockton Street?
It's sinking.
I know, fast. That is going on.
Stan knows.
Stan?
The sinkhole on Stockton.
Right up from the culvert.
We're proceeding under emergency to repair it. Should be finished tomorrow.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Great.
I'd like to apologize to the people that I donated for years with the money from the trolley. I'm not driving the trolley this year for some reason. I guess the mayor took me off of it. But I think I gave the fire department like close to $3,000 in a couple of years. I was donating all my money and gave money to St. Jude's Hospital and a couple other people.
Animal rescue.
Yeah, Animal Rescue, and I'd just like to say I'm sorry to those guys. I didn't have a chance to pay you this year, but hopefully next year I'll be back. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Council. Council Vice President.
Take away from the Board of Education meeting, I picked up all the leftover handouts on the chairs in case anybody would want them. Just the first paragraph, an update about Warren County Community College. Warren County Community College was the only community college in Northwest New Jersey chosen by the Governor's Office to provide free community college to residents coming from households making under $45,000 per year. Warren County Community College, your community college, was deemed uniquely qualified to offer this community college opportunity grants during the pilot period due to its record of successfully implementing meaningful educational changes evidenced by the following. All that information is here. If anyone would like to read it, I will leave it for the public from the Board of Ed meeting. From the UEZ board, it's interesting. A few months ago, I heard this council was so terrible, nobody would come to this town, and we just announced 3 new businesses were coming to town, and I
Slow
keep...
back on the Council Vice President.
Well, I'm
People are
sorry,
talking.
yes, we're in the town of Phillipsburg, we were told, council was so terrible, nobody would come to this town, yet businesses seem to be opening every other day. They're a little hard to keep up with. Apparently, the meat guy opened last Saturday, the Greek meat guy. I don't know anything else about it. No formal hours have been given. He just decided to open up when all the trained people were in town. The farmer and the chickpea also opened up. I am familiar with the business, so I did go and welcome them on their opening night. They have a business in Branchburg, which is where I work, so I am familiar with them. They're very nice people. I was downtown to welcome them to town. And there's also a brew pub opening across from La Bella Via. They purchased that building, they will not be renting it. So they purchased that building and will be moving into it. They will not have food available, it will strictly be the brew pub. And also, the planning board meets tomorrow, if anyone is interested in that meeting. And that is still being held at the Housing Authority building. And that is all I think I have. Oh, no, it's not.
Whoa.
I'll give everybody their gifts later, never mind.
Okay, Councilman McVeigh.
Thank you. Everyone knows my open time is kind of interesting, but my cardiologist says at the end of the year I have to smile and do something very nice, so that's what I'm going
So
to
my
do.
watch just told me that my heart rate was going above the...
Yeah, I know, so
Yeah. It's like a heart attack.
I have a list of thank yous. My first thank you is to our entire council, our clerk's office, our return, for helping me along in my first year, and guiding me along the way. Every one of you that I just mentioned, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. My friends, family, and loved ones, for allowing me to enter my house and stay there, and not throwing me out from all the hours spent during this time in addition to work. I specifically want to thank my Vice President and Director of Security at the Prudential Center, who afford me and working in some real crazy different hours to make just about every single meeting. I might have missed a work session, and that's about it. So I thank them for allowing me to adjust my schedule during events, and especially this time of year, busy time. Very important, all of our Phillipsburg municipal employees who work so hard to get this town running and to tirelessly and sometimes unceremoniously get the job done. And I thank them, especially all of our first responders out there making sure that we're all safe. I want to thank our Lopatcon neighbors and council, in particular Councilman Wright and Clerk Dilch, who afforded us to come in here this evening and And I'm very confident. I really like the bathroom. I like to come back here again. It was nice. Thank you so much. And we'll, listen, you let us know, we'll be back.
That's gonna be a quote in the paper.
That's fine. No, that's okay. It's true, but and speaking of the paper, that is actually the last thing I have to say. I want to thank our media, who fair and objective reporting throughout 2018. When we took over, we were at zero. Well, we were at basically ignition and liftoff in 2018. But we have, without a doubt, talk after the print or television media has put out our stories in our town. It is fair and it is objective, and it is not easy to cover. So I thank our media partners who are going to help us progress in the next couple of years with all the great things we're going to do. Bless you all. Thank you very much. And more importantly, you keep coming here. I know there's a lot of things you can do. So thank you all for coming here, supporting us, giving it to us when we need it, and supporting us when we need it as well. Thank you very much.
Council Leonard, do you have anything to say? It's been a long year. Okay, I will make this as quick as possible, but I would like to start with, hey, Phillipsburg's getting an alternative treatment center, right? We fought hard for that. We did get the alternative treatment center. There are some issues that we do foresee, and
back to the mental health hotline. If you are assessing proposed, press 1 repeat.
press one.
Press one.
Press one. In August, we had written letters for several organizations because we had to restructure our school zones, right? Because that was one of the requirements to have an alternative treatment center in the town of Phillipsburg. And I spoke with Stan, I believe, in early August, and we were talking about restructuring our school zones because the Board of Education has vacated a few buildings in town, then it no longer qualifies to be a school zone. I had met with the winning, the license holder, the winning license holder, who had claimed that their building was in a school zone. At the time, I was under the impression that they were speaking of either Howard Street or Broad Street. And I knew that with the old Andover Mars School, that was being phased out. And on Broad Street, it's no longer in the school zone once we restructured. Unfortunately, we did meet with this person, myself and Vicki, in late October, and the alternative treatment center that they're looking at, the proposal is to put it at the McGinley Mills building on Heckman Street. That is within a school zone.
Yep.
And I have to go back and discuss this with this woman, but I'm trying to be transparent with everyone. I can't, as much as I want this to happen, and I do believe it still will happen, I believe they will find other space, but we can't allow them to open on Heckman Street within 1,000 feet of the school zone. I fought for years to clean recreation, to clean up our recreational issue, to keep our kids safe, and if I'm fighting a sex offender for years, what's that say about my character if I just let them move right in and we put drugs right next door to where our kids go to school? Again, I am all for medicinal marijuana, but it will not be on Heckman Street. So I'm a little curious as to why the proposed location, the state of New Jersey still approved that location, knowing that it was in the school zone. We did not pass their ordinance they sent to us because we would not restructure that school zone. That was something we would not do. So I will keep you apprised as we move along. I did speak with the winning bidder, and I do plan on meeting with her after the new year, but I will keep you apprised. Secondly, the Special Olympics, you want to speak? Please. Come on, it's okay, honestly, please, because I'm going to forget.
Paul Majewski, 3062 Washington Street. I'm trying to get Special Olympics to have stuff up here for us from Hunterdon County, because when we go down to travel for basketball, we don't have nobody to support us. Everybody else is supporting everybody else. When we get down there to play, everybody's rooting for them.
Sure.
We want something to root for us. We want people to come out to our games down in Trenton. They do come down, some of them do, but not all of them, but we just want to support them.
Paul, I'll tell you what, you tell me where you're gonna be and I'll be there to support you. However, I would like to bring something here as well. We will speak with whoever our recreation director is. I'd also like to place you in touch with our school board because they have facilities. As Matt Skirbo, who's a school board member, he's in attendance this evening. Matt, if you wouldn't mind speaking with Paul, perhaps we can work something out, because you're absolutely right. We have many Special Olympians here in Phillipsburg and sending districts, and I would like to see.
Because starting in January, I don't know if it's the 12th or the 20th, that's when our first basketball game, we're gonna be down traveling. We wanna be close so everybody.
Not go to South Carolina or nothing, right? You're not
No.
gonna get in trouble with my wife. I gotta take a couple days off.
No,
No,
it's
just
not
mostly
an
people.
hour. It's an hour drive for us.
It's
Yeah.
fine with me. I will make that hour drive to watch you play. Okay, let me know when you're ready. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Last, echoing the sentiments, I thank, and unfortunately, Councilman Davis isn't here, but I want to say truly from the bottom of my heart, man, working with you guys has been an absolute pleasure. Sometimes, no, you know what? We have an amazing council, and I say that because I can call any one of them at any point in time, and just the amount of work that we've gotten done, we've got over 200 resolutions. You know, they ask questions, they're inquisitive. I know it's tough because sometimes we have 4-hour meetings, but I got to case in point. We are awarding Star Dollar Cleaners, Star G. Frank, right? Is that what they call it? Is that what it is? Star G. Boy? Is that what it is? We are awarding Star Dollar Cleaners with a contract. That contract went from $1,237 to $995. And you know why? Because Councilman McVeigh asked questions. And as annoying as that may have seemed to the audience, if he didn't look into it or ask these questions, he wouldn't be saving the town about $3,000 to $4,000 a year. So I know that, again, it seems tedious, but I really enjoy having a council that is fully engaged with every facet of our government, because we really are here for a short period. We're here for 4 years, and there's a lot to get done in 4 years. We told you that, we hit the ground running, we came out swinging, and we're not done yet, okay? And Vicki, God love you, because everything that you have done for us, you are the backbone of this community, you're the backbone of that municipal building, and without you, nothing gets done. So I'm very, very thankful. And I tell you folks, you have no idea the treasure that we have in our municipal clerk's office. And I tell you that from the bottom of my heart. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me. I came into this new, I was nervous, and it worked out real well. I like to think anyway, although they call me names online, but that's okay. Go Pacom, thank you for letting us stay here. I truly do appreciate it. Our sending districts have been some of the biggest supporters of our council with regard, and our team. You know, Councilman Wright calls me names a lot. No, in all honesty, we love our sending districts, and we're looking to do more with our sending districts in 2019 and forward. I do foresee a good 2019. I really do. I love our professional services. Stan, I could show you my phone bill from Stan's phone calls. No, but Stan, it is a pleasure to work with you. You are a very intelligent man. You're good at what you do, and I thank you. Right, Council Leonard. This guy, I woke him up at midnight one night, and he says, "What's 5 o'clock in the morning?" I said, "No, it's not. It's midnight." He says, "I'll call you in the morning." But thank you for being there for us. We truly do appreciate it. And then to you, every single one of you who have come out every single time, whether you're for us or against us. I don't really think there is a for or against, by the way. I think it's a matter of different ideologies. But we all want to go on the same path. I ask that you do this, maybe create a New Year's resolution. Stay off social media. Do not engage with each other in harmful rhetoric. It's ugly, it's disgusting, and we can do a lot better. I love the town of Phillipsburg, that's why I do this, and I know that you love the town of Phillipsburg, and that's why you do this. So, if we stop and think before we hit send or post or reply, we'll make it. The path's been rough, but we will make it. With that being said, thank you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, a lot of commercials. And I know we're moving forward, yeah, we have to. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Yeah, over it.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrova?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Ball?
Yes.
So moved.
Wait, before we do, I just want to say one more thing. Tonight I missed my daughter's concert. Yeah, no, I'll get to see her tomorrow. But I'm sure she did a heck of a job with the rest of the middle school choir. And just want to tell her that I love her because she's going to watch this on tape because she watches all my council meetings. I don't know why she gets kicked out of it. Maybe she'll be a politician one day. But thank you very much for coming out. God bless you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Do it.